An online database is not useful if you don't know what to do with the data. Well, in this case, we can go ahead and build our portal using Knack AI. Plus, we'll be able to go through the data using Knack AI too. So let's go ahead and get started by adding a prompt right here to build our online database to organize and manage the information. So let's go ahead and kick off the AI here so we can build our portal. And we're going to give it a couple minutes to get started. An online database is not useful if you don't know what to do with the data. Well, in this case, we can go ahead and build our portal using Knack AI. Plus, we'll be able to go through the data using Knack AI too. So let's go ahead and get started by adding a prompt right here to build our online database to organize and manage the information. So let's go ahead and kick off the AI here so we can build our portal. And we're going to give it a couple minutes to get started. Here we go. Our online database is now ready. We have a live app that we can start using right away where it's highly customizable. Now we can go ahead and continue customizing our application through the AI chat. So if we forgot to mention in the first prompt that we needed a specific table, a user role, we can go ahead and create it with AI or do it manually. Plus, we have all the power of the AI feature here to analyze the data. That means that if we need to know something about the data, we can go ahead and ask it through the AI feature. But first, let's get started by knowing what it actually built. So if we go to tables, you can see here that it created 5 tables for us. So we got project, task, reports, notifications, and permissions. And user roles, it created 2, which is the users and the administrators. And it also created all these pages for us, which is tied to our application. Now, if we want to view our live app, go ahead and click on the live application and we're able to view the dashboard view. So we got dashboard, users, projects, and we got the online data at a quick glance. Now we're able to modify every single aspect of this. So if we need to change pages, the look, style, change the look of the graph, that is possible by selecting the elements. So if I need to remove, add, and change the style, I can do so through here. Now, let's go back to the AI feature. Now, this is a really powerful feature because we can analyze the data that was added to this. So in this case, I can go ahead and continue the chat that we got started with, or we can go ahead and start off a new chat. So let's go ahead and ask it about the projects. So in this case, we're going to ask it how many projects are in progress. So we have a few projects that are in progress. The AI feature is going to analyze and provide us a response. Here we go. We got the results, and you can see here that it found the data where it was located, and we got the results. Total 5 projects are pending in this case, which is what we asked. How many projects are in progress. Now you can talk to your data, get more information. Now that was a super basic question, but you can ask it more complex questions. Now, what if I want to build something? Let me go ahead and start off a new chat, and I want to build a brand new user role because I forgot to add one. So I want a user role for developers. So let's go ahead and ask it to build one for us. Here we go, sending this off, and I asked it to build a user role for developers. So let's give this a couple minutes. Here we go. It's asking me if I want to proceed with this plan, which is creating a developer's user role with these fields. I can ask it to add more fields right now, or I can do it afterwards, or I can even add them manually. So in this case, I'm going to say, yes, continue. Go ahead and create it as it is. So with those fields. So let's give this a couple minutes. Okay, we're good to go. The user role developers is now created, and it did it all for us. So it added the fields for us, and we should have that available in user roles. So before we had 2 user roles, and now we have a developer's role. Now there's currently no developers added here, but if I needed demo data to be added, I can also ask Knack AI to do it. But in this case, we already have the fields available for us, which is a super time saver for us. That means, for example, developer level, you got junior, mid-level, senior, lead. This was automatically created for us. We didn't have to do all of this manually, which is a time saver. And it's pretty cool. I can go ahead and remove fields. I can add more fields in case I forgot to add something. So I can do this manually. And on the right, we have details like connections. So I can go ahead and add a connection to this. So if I need to connect user roles with tables, I can do so through here. I can also add the validation rules, conditional rules, and tasks all from here. Now, tables were created too. Again, we got tables. If I need to create a new table, go ahead and click on the plus button if I want to do this manually. If I want to add a record manually, that is possible too. I can also view the connections. You can see here, it already has connections, but I can add an additional connection in case I created different tables, pages, user roles, etc., all from here. And we also have validation rules, conditional rules, and tasks. And if you want to work with pages, those will be available here where we can modify everything. If you want to change the look and style of your application, you can do so in the theme section. This is the active theme, and we can change the style and layout from here. So we can add logos, colors, fonts, and really customize it to our style. Then we have flows in case you want to automate certain processes. I do recommend that you get started with template. It'll help you understand how flows is going to work. Plus, it's super easy to connect going through the step-by-step process. Then you can create your flows from scratch. Then I recommend you go to settings, go through the settings, set everything the way you need. User roles, custom domain, API encode, embed. Go through the process and you'll be good to go. Now, don't forget to use the AI feature here on Knack to build your custom portal really easily and take full advantage of your online database. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that little bell notification to get notified when new videos come out. And that's a wrap.